Do you know what gives the life to the Cisco devices? If you don't know, then this video is for you. In this chapter, we are going to talk about the most famous network operating system, Cisco IOS. How to use Cisco IOS. Welcome to the video. Welcome to CCNA 200-301, Implementing and Administering Cisco Solutions, Chapter number 36, How to Use Cisco IOS. Learn CCNA with Irash Academy. I have placed the complete CCNA playlist at the top right corner of the video information bar. In this chapter, we will discuss about the Cisco IOS. We will discuss about the different modes in Cisco IOS. And finally, we will understand how to use Cisco IOS. Before we talk about the Cisco IOS, I have a question to you. Do you have a laptop or smartphone with you? If yes, then what helps you to use those devices? What gives the life to those devices? Do you know? It is the operating system in those devices helps you to use those devices. And without the operating system, these devices are just hardware. So let's see what is an operating system. An operating system is a software that helps to manage the computer hardware and helps to running application in it. It is not only limited to the computer. There are so many devices running in operating system like smartphone, network devices, etc. And the operating system is act as an intermediator between the hardware and the user. The hardwares are electronic devices. It can understand some different language, maybe the binary language, or working based on the electronic pulse, plus and minus charge, etc. But how the user is going to interact with that device? It is with the help of the operating system. The operating system helps user to interact with that hardware. It is working as an intermediator between the hardware and the user. The operating system also considered as the soul of the device. And without the operating system, this device is just an hardware. It cannot function. You cannot configure anything. You cannot tell anything to do to the device. So when you consider your laptop, what is the operating system used in your laptop? It may be a Windows operating system or a Mac OS or Linux. These are the main operating system used nowadays. But still, there are so many other operating systems available in the industry. But this operating system commonly used by users. Now let's consider your smartphone and what operating system used by your smartphone. It may be an Android operating system or iOS operating system if you are using any iPhone, or Windows mobile operating system if you are using a Windows phone. And still there are so many other operating systems as well. So now our point is, if you want to use the hardware, you need to have an operating system that support that hardware. So in that case, how the Cisco devices works? Is there any operating system in Cisco devices? Yes, it is called Cisco IOS. Same like your computer, your smartphone or any other devices, Cisco devices also have an operating system running inside it. This helps you to interact with the Cisco hardware and configure the option that you want and make it work in a way that you wanted. So now let's see what is Cisco IOS. The IOS stands for Internetworking Operating System. It is developed by Cisco for the Cisco devices. So who developed the Cisco IOS? It is developed by the company Cisco. And it is developed for what? It is developed for their devices, the Cisco devices. So the Cisco IOS only running in Cisco devices. It cannot use any other third-party devices. It cannot run in Fortinet, it cannot run in Juniper, etc. It is only dedicated for the Cisco devices. And Cisco IOS is a command line based operating system. Windows operating system is a GUI based operating system. GUI stands for graphical user interface. In Windows operating system, user have a better visibility on the options and they can see what are the options available in the graphical format. On the other hand, the Cisco IOS is a command line based operating system. That means you can communicate with the Cisco device using the commands with the help of a terminal application. Now where this Cisco IOS used? Whether it is a router, switch, firewall, access point, wireless LAN controller, or secure network device, Cisco IOS device used everywhere. One of the most advantage of Cisco IOS is if you learn it once, then you can use it forever, because it is a global operating system from the Cisco that it is running at almost every Cisco devices. So if you learn it in a network switch, then you can use it in a network router, you can use it in a firewall, you can use it in an access point, everywhere. The iOS is same, but the options are different. Depends on the hardware. That means the features available in a Cisco router is entirely different from the features available in an access point, because those hardware are for some specific characteristic. Based on that, there will be differences between the features and options, but the iOS languages are same. So that's what I said, when you learn it in one device, then you can use it in any device. And when you access your Cisco device using a console window or an SSH session, then you can see the Cisco iOS. When you enter your command in a console session, actually you are going to interact with the Cisco hardware with the help of the computer. Now let's see what is inside the Cisco iOS. What is actually inside the Cisco iOS? To understand the working concept of the Cisco iOS, I can explain it with the help of your home. Imagine your home is the Cisco iOS. Suppose somebody came to your home and rang the calling bell, and you open the door for him. Now this person can ask you so many things without entering your home. He can ask you about your home, how many rooms you have. He can ask about your family member, how many family member you have. He can ask you what job you are doing. All the information he can ask by standing outside your home without entering into the home. We can call this is the user mode in Cisco iOS. In the user mode, the user get limited access. He can see the basic information and he can do the basic troubleshooting. And here user doesn't have the full access. Now imagine you open the door and invite that person to inside your living room. So this person enter to your living room, and once if he enter the living room, he get the full access to the home, because he can reach to anywhere in this house through the living room. And when he is inside the living room, he get access to the sofa set. He can sit there and relax. He get access to the television. He can watch the television program, and he can listen to the music, because here is the home theater system. We can call this mode in the Cisco iOS as privilege mode. In privilege mode, you get full access. You can get more visibility to the information, and you can do the advanced level troubleshooting. Now here, when this person is inside the living room, he cannot do too much except this watching TV, listen to music and sitting in the sofa set. What he want to get more access into your home? What if he want to access the kitchen, or what he want to have lunch with you in your dining table, or what he want to get sleep in your bedroom? So for that, he need to get access to your main hall. This is your main hall. And once he enter the main hall, he get access to the kitchen. He get access to your dining table. He get access to your bedroom. He get access to your washroom as well. This mode we can call in Cisco iOS as global configuration mode. From the global configuration mode, you can do any configuration. You cannot do any configuration in user mode or privilege mode. For that, you need to come to the global configuration mode. So same like the person get access to your kitchen, your dining table, your master bedroom, your washroom. From the global configuration mode, you can go to any sub mode. For example, if you want to do an interface configuration, you can go to the interface sub mode. Or line VTI configuration, then you can go to the line VTI sub mode. Or routing configuration, you can go to router mode, etc. So from the global configuration mode, which feature or which interface you want to configure, you can go there easily. Same like this person get access to all the area in your home. So this is the basic concept of Cisco iOS. If you want to specially configure a specific feature, then you don't have that option in user mode. You don't have that option in privilege mode. You need to go to the global configuration mode, same like the main hall of this home. Then from there, you need to go to the sub options like interface, line VTI, router, same like the kitchen, dining table or bedroom, etc. So this is the concept of Cisco iOS. I just show you an example with the help of your home to make this understand very clear. So as we discussed, when you enter to a Cisco device first time, you are landing into the user mode. And in user mode, you get limited access to the resources, such as you can view the information using the show command, and you can do the connectivity test using the telnet or ping command. And from the user mode, when you go to the privilege mode, you get full access to the resources. And whatever you could do in user mode, you can do the same in privilege mode with additional access. For example, you can view the information using the show commands, and you can do more advanced troubleshooting using the ping and telnet command, and more options also available in this privilege mode. And in the privilege mode, even you get the full access, you cannot configure anything. It is not allowed in privilege mode. So to configure something, you need to go to the global configuration mode. And the global configuration mode is specially designed configuration mode that allow you to configure anything in this device. And from the global configuration, you need to decide what you are going to configure. And in according to that, you need to go to the sub options. For example, from the global configuration mode, if you want to configure the interface of the device, then you need to go to the interface mode. Or if you want to configure the line console, then you need to go to the line interface mode. Or if you want to configure the router option, then you need to go to the router mode. Or if you want to configure the quality of service, the class map, then you need to go to the class map mode. So in this way, from the configuration mode, you can go to any sub mode. And totally there are 100 plus modes available in the Cisco devices. Now, how to recognize in which mode you are? It can recognize easily. For example, you can recognize the user mode with this right arrow key. If you see the right arrow key in your console, that means you are in user mode. And if you see this hash symbol in your console line, then you can see you are in the privilege mode. And if you see this config along with the hash, then you can understand that you are in the configuration mode. And from here, you can understand you are in the interface configuration mode, because here you can see the config, then IF. IF stands for interface. And this is the line configuration. And this is the router configuration. And this is the class map configuration. So in this way, by looking into your console, you can understand in which configuration mode you are. This is very simple. Now suppose you are in the user mode. Now how can you go to the privilege mode? You can use the command enable to go to the privilege mode from the user mode. As soon as you enter this command and press the enter key, then you are in the privilege mode. And from the privilege mode, how you go to the global configuration mode? For that, you can use the command configure terminal. And once if you enter the command, then press the enter key, then you are in the global configuration mode. And from this mode, you can go to any sub mode by entering the appropriate command. And as I said, there are 100 plus mode. For each mode, you need to do different commands. So this is how you move from one mode to another mode. Now we already know that how to go from one mode to another mode, and to another mode to another mode, etc. But now, how can we go back to the previous mode? To go to the previous mode, you can use the command exit. And when you enter the exit command in your console, it takes you to the previous mode. For example, if you are at the interface configuration mode, from there, if you want to exit and go to global configuration mode, you can enter the command exit and press the enter button. Then it takes you from the interface configuration mode to the global configuration mode. And now from there, if you want to go to any other subcategory, you can go from here directly. Or if you want to go to the privilege mode back, then again you can use the command exit. And when you enter that in your console and press the enter button, it takes you from the global configuration mode to back to the privilege mode. So as we said, if you want to go back to the previous mode, one by one, you can use the command exit. It takes you the previous mode. But what if you want to go directly to the privilege mode from any sub configuration option? For example, now imagine you are in the interface configuration. From there, you don't want to go to global configuration mode. You want to directly go to the privilege mode. How to do that? For that, you can use the command end or control Z. And when you enter that command, then it directly takes you to the privilege mode. It is not going to the global configuration mode. So this is how the Cisco IOS work. This is how the Cisco IOS navigate from mode to mode. Hope that it is clear. Now let me take you to the CCNA lab environment and show you the different modes of Cisco IOS. So in the screen you can see the console connection to my Cisco switch, and when I switch on the switch it is asking would you like to enter initial configuration dialog. So here I am going to press no. Okay, now what you can see here, the next message you can see here, press return to get started. And what is this return? This word return means it is the enter key. So it is asking to press the enter key to get started. So I am going to press the enter key, and when I press the enter key I can see the switch command interface here. This one which is showing switch, it is the name of the switch, the host name. We can change the host name as per our need, but at this moment by default it's taken the name switch as host name. Now can you tell me in which mode we are right now? Now we are in the user mode. And how do I know that? Because I can recognize it with the help of this right arrow key. So wherever at the console window if you can see this right arrow key, that means we are at the user mode. Now the question, we are at the user mode now. Now how can I go to the privilege mode? Which command I can use to go to privilege mode? That is the enable command. The enable command help us to go to privilege mode from the user mode. So let me type the command enable, then press enter. Now I have reached in the privilege mode. And how do I know that I am in the privilege mode? Because can you see this hash symbol here, the pound symbol? This means we are at the privilege mode. Same like this right arrow key means we are at the user mode, and when it is changed here we can consider we are in the privilege mode. Now in the privilege mode I cannot make any changes because it is not allowed. To make the changes, where should I go? I should go to configuration mode. And how can I go to the configuration mode from the privilege mode? Which command I can use to reach configuration mode? The command is configure terminal. And when I enter the command configure terminal, press enter. Now I can see that I have reached to the configuration mode. And how do I know that I am in the configuration mode? Can you see here this config along with this pound symbol? It indicates that I am at the configuration mode. And from the configuration mode I can make any changes in the configuration of the device. For example, I can change the host name. So let me change the host name. To change the host name I can use the host name command. Then I am going to put the host name as Cisco-switch. Okay, I am going to change the host name. So that means this host name from this switch, it will change to Cisco switch. And when I press enter, can you see here on the next line onwards we can see the Cisco switch, because the default name from switch, the host name I have changed to Cisco switch. And if you enter more, you can see the name stay as it is, Cisco switch. So this is how we change the host name. Now I am in the configuration mode, and from the configuration mode I can go to 100 plus different sub mode to make the configuration changes in that area. Now let me go to the interface mode and show you how it is look like. To go to interface mode, I can type interface gigabit ethernet 1/0/1. This is one of the interface. So I am going to in this interface to make the changes in that interface. So here when I press enter, can you see here configuration symbol change from the config to config if. What is this config if? Config means this is in the configuration mode and if means interface. Now I can make the changes at this interface in a way that I wanted, or I can exit from here. Now how do I go to lane console? So to go to lane console mode, I can type here lane, then console, then 0. So in this way I can go to lane console 0. And when I type enter, you can see this mode has been changed from the config to config line. So config means this is in the configuration mode, and lane means we are at the lane interface. So in this lane interface I can make the changes accordingly. And to come back I can use the exit command. So in this way we can go to each different mode in the Cisco IOS. We can go to the configuration mode, and from the configuration mode we can go to all these 100 plus sub options to make the changes. Now see, you can see I am at the interface mode. I want to make the changes at the configuration mode. So from this interface mode, how can I go back to the configuration mode? What is the command we are using to go back to the previous mode? The command is exit. When you enter exit and press the enter key, now you are back to the configuration mode. Can you see? It is changed from the interface configuration to configuration page. Now from the configuration mode, how can I go to the privilege mode back? We have to use the same command exit, and when you press enter, see, from the config mode you went to the privilege mode. This is how the Cisco IOS works. So this is the concept of Cisco IOS. Now let me show you the last command. Let me go to the configuration mode, then let me go to the interface. Now I am at the interface configuration mode. From this configuration mode, I don't want to go to the config mode. I want to go directly to the privilege mode. So in this condition, if I enter the command exit, it will take me to the config mode. But I don't want to go to config mode. So which command help me to reach privilege mode directly from here? The command is end command. When I type the command end, then press enter, it is directly taking from the interface configuration to privilege mode without going to the configuration mode. And along with the end command, we can use the Ctrl+Z keyboard shortcut also. So at this moment I am at the interface configuration mode. Okay, from here, if I want to go to privilege mode directly, I can use the command end. It will take me to the privilege mode. And by using the keyboard shortcut also, I can reach to the privilege mode directly. For that, you need to press Ctrl and Z in your keyboard, so it directly takes you to the privilege mode. Now I hope that it is clear for you to navigate to the multiple modes of the Cisco IOS. Now let me give you some navigation tips on Cisco IOS. In this Cisco IOS navigation tips, I will show you how to navigate in Cisco IOS with the backspace and arrow keys. Then I will show you how to recall the command using up and down arrow key. Then I will show you how to jump to the front and end of the command using Ctrl+A and Ctrl+E key combination. Then I will show you how to finish a partially typed command using tab key. Then I will show you how to see the available commands using question mark. And finally I will show you how to use negate command or no command in the Cisco IOS. Now let's go back to the Cisco console. I am going to take you to the Cisco lab again. This is my switch and I connected to its console. Here you can see press return to get started. You already know what does it mean. Press enter. So when you press enter, you are in the user mode. Then from there I am going to change that to privilege mode. So for that I am using the command enable. Okay, now I am in the privilege mode. Now I am going to configure one interface of this switch. So to know what are the interface available in this switch, I am going to use the command show IP interface brief. Okay. When I enter this command, I can see all the interface available in the switch. So I am going to make changes in this interface. Gigabit Ethernet 1/0/1. Okay. So to make the changes, I am going to the configure terminal. Then after that going to interface. Then Gigabit Ethernet 1/0/1. I am going to this interface. Now you can see I have reached to this interface. Now this is the interface configuration mode. From here I am going to shut down this interface. I am going to switch off the interface. For that I can use the command shutdown, enter. Okay. Now as soon as I enter the command shutdown, can you see one message here? What is it saying? It is saying link file change, interface Gigabit Ethernet 1/0/1, change state to administratively down, because I switch off that interface. Now let me exit from this interface, exit. Then exit from the configuration mode, exit. See, as soon as I exit from the configuration mode, I got another message saying that configured from console by console. So it's mean that the configuration is done from the console by the console. So what is this message and this message? These messages are showing status and they are calling status message. That means if you make any configuration changes in the configuration mode, this status message using to indicate that the configuration has been successfully completed. This is to notify the user about the configuration changes. So here you can see that after this message, there is no line. There is no line to indicate whether you are in the user mode or privilege mode. So no need to panic, just press enter. And when you press enter, it will show a new line. And from here, you can start the next configuration. So this kind of messages are called status message. Now I am going to press the up arrow key in my keyboard. And when I press the up arrow key, the command configure terminal automatically came here. When I press the up arrow key again, the command show IP interface brief appear here. Here I am not typing anything. I am just pressing the up arrow key. Now again I am going to press the up arrow key. You can see enable command came. So from where these commands are coming? When I press the arrow key. So these commands are coming from the history of this device. When you press the up arrow key, it is showing the previously used commands. So if you want to execute the previously used command, then you can use the up arrow key and down arrow key as per your need. For example, now if I press the down arrow key, what will happen? It will show the next command. When I press again the down arrow key, it will show the next command. So in this way, by using the up and down arrow key, you can go to the previous command. No need to type it again and again. You can just go to previous command, and when you press enter from here, that command will be executed. So to access the previously executed latest command, you can use the up arrow key in your keyboard, and once the command is visible, then you can use the down arrow key to display the previous commands based on the order of its execution. So basically saying you don't want to enter the repeated command again and again, and instead you can use your up and down arrow key from your keyboard to display the previously executed command and select that from the console itself. Now I am going to the configuration mode by using the command config terminal. Then from there I am going to type interface gigabit ethernet 1/0/1. Now in this command I type the command interface gigabit ethernet 1/0/1. What if I want to change any letter from these commands from the beginning or from the middle? Because my cursor, you can see my cursor is at the end of this command. What if I want to make this gigabit ethernet, I want to remove or make it something else? In that case, how can I edit or modify this command? So here you can use your left arrow key and right arrow key to navigate the cursor to right side and left side. For example, now I am going to press my left arrow key, and when I press the left arrow key, you can see the cursor is moving to the left side, and when I press the right arrow key, you can see the cursor is moving to the right side. So now if I want to make any changes here, for example this 1 I need to change to 2. So what I can do, I can move the cursor using the left arrow key to the position of 1, and I can use backspace, and when I do that, the 1 is disappeared. Then I can type 2 here, and when I do that, 2 appeared. In this way I can make any changes in this command by using the left and right arrow key along with the backspace key. Now I am at the privilege mode and I want to go to configuration mode. So what is the command to go to configuration mode? So the command go to configuration mode is configure terminal. So I can type here terminal, then press enter. See, now you got one error message. It is saying invalid input detected, and there is an up arrow mark in the command. When you check the executed command, you can see there is a spelling mistake in the command. The spelling of the word configure is typed in a wrong way. For the Cisco, there is no command saying like configure. It is just configure. So in that situation, Cisco iOS detect that as an invalid command, and it is giving an error message with a marker. So how Cisco know this command is not valid? Because Cisco use an inbuilt dictionary or database of all the available command in all the available mode, and according to that, if we type any different command other than this dictionary, then it will be invalid. So how do we know what are the commands available in a specific mode? For that you can use the help command. The help command represents the question mark. When you are in a specific mode, when you enter the question mark, then it will show you all the available command in that mode. So these are the all available commands in that mode. And here at the bottom you can see more option is available. So to get that more option, what you need to do? There are two options. One is using the enter key. When you type the enter key, the new lanes will show. That means only one lane is able to show you at a time. So if there are 100 lanes, then you need to press enter key 100 times. The second option is use your space key, and when you enter the space key, then we can go to one page at a time. If there are 100 commands available and when you press the space key in your keyboard, all those commands will be displayed in 2 or 3 pages. So just remember, enter key will display one line at a time, but the space key will display one page at a time. So by using the question mark, we can see what are the available options in that mode. And this option is different from mode to mode. For example, now if you are in the user mode, here when we use the question mark, see only these are the commands available in this mode, in this user mode. Only few commands available in this user mode. But when you go to privilege mode and use the question mark, more commands are used in privilege mode, and these commands are different from the previous mode. And when we go to configuration mode, here when you use this question mark, you can see here lot of options are available. That is very different from the privilege mode and the user mode. Now let's go to the interface option. Interface gigabit ethernet 1/0/1. And when you go here, when you use the question mark here, can you see here? These are the options available in this mode. These are very different from the configuration mode, privilege mode and user mode. And this question mark can be used along with the other command also. It will show you what are the available commands. For example, now I am going to type interface here. So I want to know what are the commands available after the interface command. So after the interface command, I just need to use the question mark here. So here you can see these are the commands available after the command interface. So after the interface command, we can use fast ethernet, we can use gigabit ethernet, loopback, and so many commands. Now let's go to the gigabit ethernet and see what are the commands available after that. See, after the gigabit ethernet command, you need to choose a number from 0 to 9 to denote your interface number. So in this way, we can use this question mark in blank screen or along with any other command. So it will help you to understand what is the next command that you can use. Now let me exit from here. Now I am at the privilege mode, and from here I want to go to configuration mode. So how can I go to the configuration mode? For that I need to type configure terminal, and when I press enter, see here some spelling mistake is there. So that's why there is an invalid input detected. So how to avoid this kind of situation? You can use the tab key in your keyboard to autofill the available commands. So what is the function of tab key in Cisco iOS? Tab key will automatically identify what is this command and it will display here. You don't want to type the complete command here. So to type the configure, I can just type conf, then enter the tab key in my keyboard. I'm going to enter the tab key. See, when I press the tab key, Cisco iOS is automatically detected as this is the configure command, and it displays the configure command. Now for the terminal, I am just using ter. Okay, then press the tab key. See, Cisco automatically detected it is the terminal command. So I don't want to type it manually all the command. I just need to start the command and press the tab key and let the Cisco iOS fill the remaining things. And while using the tab key, there is a problem can happen. We want to tell Cisco iOS what is the exact command we are looking for. But what if there is multiple options are available using that command? For example, I am going to type only con. Okay. After that, when I press the tab key, nothing is happening because it is not filling automatically. Why it is like that? Because there are more than one command available starting from CON. So that's why Cisco iOS is not displaying even if you press the tab key. To understand that, if you press question mark, you can see the command configure and there is another command connect. So when you type CON only, it is matching with these two commands because these three letters are available in two commands. So the Cisco iOS cannot understand which command you mean. So that's why it was not filling. Then you need to specify the letter F after the CON, or you need to specify the letter N after the CON. Then only Cisco iOS can understand that thing. For example, now if I type CON, then press the tab key, nothing is happened because more than one command is available. Now when I press F here, then press tab button, then the Cisco iOS can recognize it is the configure because after the CON, F is coming only for the configure command. Now instead of configure, if I use the N here, press tab button, see, now the Cisco iOS recognize it is the connect command because after the CON, N is coming for only this command. So this is how Cisco iOS recognize the command and autofill it accordingly. And when there is more than one command is available, Cisco iOS consider it as a ambiguous command. Now I am going to type only CON, then terminal. Okay, I am assuming that Cisco iOS will detect this command as configure terminal. But when I press enter, it is giving error message ambiguous command. The ambiguous command means there are more than one option is available by using the word CON. So that's why it is written this error message. Okay, now I am going to the configure terminal. Then I am going to the interface gigabit ethernet 1/0/1. Okay, so when I type this command, as I said before, by using the left and right arrow, I can navigate to the left side and right side of this command and make the changes accordingly. And it will not be that much difficult when we use the small command. But what if we are using a large command which have 200 character or something like that? Then it will be very difficult for you to move the cursor using left and right arrow key. So in that situation, how you will make some changes at the beginning of this command? For that you can use two control options. One is Control A and another one is Control E. The Control A will help you to move the cursor into the beginning of the command, and Control E will help you to move the cursor to the end of the command. So now you can see in the screen the cursor is at the end of the command. Now I want to move the cursor directly to the beginning of the command, so I can press the Control A in my keyboard. I am going to press the Control A in my keyboard. Now you can see the cursor reach to the beginning of this command from the end. And from here, if I want to make any changes, I can make the changes. Now the cursor is at the beginning of the command. What if I want to move the cursor directly to the end of the command? Then I can use the second control command, that is Control E. So I am going to press the Control E button from my keyboard. Tada! Now it is reached at the end of the command. So for small command, it is not a big problem to use the right and left arrow key. But when there is a big command, then it will be very difficult to hold your arrow key to move it right and left. Instead, you can use the Control A or Control E command to move the cursor to the beginning or end of the command. Now let's talk about the negate command. What is the negate command? The negate command means the no commands. We are going to tell to the Cisco iOS to cancel the configured option. For example, I am going to the configuration mode, then the interface mode, interface gigabit ethernet 1/0/1. Here I am going to shut down that interface. Okay, I use the command shutdown, then press enter. Now the interface is shut down. Now suppose I want to roll back this change. I don't want to shut down this interface. I want to back it online as an active interface. So what will I do? So in this kind of situation, we can use the negate command, that is no command. Negate command means use a no in front of the command, so that it will do the opposite of that command. When we do that no shutdown, it is saying the interface should not shut down. So that means it should be active and working. So this negate command we can use anywhere, any configuration. If you provide an IP address, then you need to remove the IP address, you can use the negate command. You can use the negate command in front of any configuration command so that it will do just opposite to that command. If you change the host name, you can make that changes all back. Now another example I can show you to use the negate command. Now see, the host name of my switch is Cisco switch here. What if I want to remove this host name? So if I want to remove the host name, I can use the negate command or no command. For that, let me go to the configuration terminal, then no host name Cisco switch, and when I press enter, see, now the host name has been removed from the Cisco switch, and Cisco IOS provided a temporary host name to the switch, which is called multi-layer switch. So this no command or negate command can be used in the Cisco IOS to remove any existing configuration or feature. Now here I have shown you lot of tips about the navigation of the Cisco IOS. By using these tips, you can use the Cisco IOS very efficiently. You can gain more skills in the Cisco IOS. If you want to be a professional network engineer, then you need to be master in Cisco IOS administration. So in this chapter, we have discussed about the Cisco IOS. We have discussed about the different modes in Cisco IOS. And finally, we have understood how to use Cisco IOS. Thank you very much for watching, and subscribe to the channel for more videos. Enhance your skill using Irash Academy.